Hey everyone, John Newman here. Thank you for downloading this episode of Card Mensches. Myself and Danny Black of Hobby News Daily would like to remind you this is a live show every other Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. It can be found on most of our social medias. Danny's at sportsbalt and Hobby News Daily. I am Sports Card Nation Podcast. And it can be found on our YouTube channels. At Hobby News Daily, Sports Card Nation Podcast, at Sportsbalt, and at Card Mensches. So with that being said, we hope to see you very soon on a Friday night in our very active chat room. Now let's start the show.
Experience, quality, consistency, and the quickest turnaround times in the grading industry? We are proud to partner with SGC Grading. Check them out at www.gosgc.com.
Hi, I'm Danny Black.
And I'm John Newman.
Welcome to Card Mensches. Well, what's up? I can hear the motorcycle drive by for our opening.
Yeah, there's a guy in a moped that drives by like 2 or 3 times a day. So he picked the show to make his presence known.
He's obviously rushing home to watch. We appreciate it. So, Ruben says in the thumbnail, why doesn't John's head fit his torso? I don't know if that's the thumbnail or.
I don't know. That's my real. I didn't do any photoshopping on that one.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that. What's up, Steven? Hey. Did the Mets win?
No, they're losing 8-2.
Yeah, you got the.
Paul Skeens is pitching for the Pirates. So
you had no shot.
I thought they were going to get no hit. That's my worst prediction before the game. So kudos to the Mets. They got 4 hits and 2 runs.
So do you think they're going to be buyers or sellers?
Well, I think they should be sellers with Alonso. I mean,
How about Severino?
I'm not a big Severino guy, so I'd still be a seller. They do got to get some pitching, though. So, I mean, if not this year, just for the future. So,
just curious, as a team that's looking for pitching. Ruben says 2 home runs by Brian Reynolds. I don't think the Mets are going to win. Probably not when you're facing Paul Skeens anyway.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to another Friday night. It is Card Mensches, episode 42.
It's the Jackie Robinson episode.
It is the Jackie Robinson episode.
But we're not going to talk about Jackie Robinson.
No.
That's the sad part.
But we're not wearing any other jersey numbers.
Yeah. I'm wearing a rated rookie shirt.
Right. I'm wearing my changes shirt, so I didn't look like a psychedelic trip. Mets are buyers as of now, bullpen help. Well,
I tell you what, the Syracuse Mets bullpen looks good, but, doing it at AAA and doing it at the 12-year-old kid strikes again. Yes.
It's past his bedtime. That's what I want to know. Do his parents know he's up?
When I grow up, I'm going to pick on older guys, too.
Yes. I lost it on the headboard. Tell your parents that. I lost it on the headboard. So we are going to the National. We are not big autograph guys, but the autograph part of the National is huge. We checked it out. Pretty amazing list. So we want to go through, talk about the guys, and talk about whether or not we would want to get their autographs, and then we'll go through and talk about some of their cards.
Yeah, first off, full transparency, I'm not going to be getting any autographs at the National unless I happen to run into one of these guys like offsite or something like that. But I'm not standing in line. But at the same time, kudos to TriStar. They always bring in the best of the best. And we're going to see that here. The lineup here, man, are some of the goats of the game. It's just incredible list. And it's like this every year. So
autographs, do you own any? Are you a card autograph guy only?
I'm more, I have some memorabilia signed. It's not my forte, but I'm more like cards that come out of packs. Like I'll hunt for those more than memorabilia.
So you're not collecting autograph baseball?
I do have index cards. I do have like PSA authentic index cards that are signed. I have a couple jerseys. I wouldn't say I'm huge. I have more autographed cards than memorabilia, but I have some memorabilia that's signed.
Ruben says, I'll be trying to sell my autograph tickets. I'll get with my VIP package. I don't want to wait in those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, the lines, they've gotten better in recent years, but, people have said they've spent half a day or a significant amount of time, on the line. So you got to keep that in mind. You really got to like who you're getting signed, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so you want to start looking at some of these people?
Yeah, and like I said, if either one of us is this one of our picks, we'll stop there and share a card.
All right, Barry says he loves autographs. I think people do. I think one of the things we were talking about was Mariano Rivera. We just looked up quickly. I mean, his autograph was $300-400. I'm not dropping that for fun. I can tell you right now.
In Mariano's defense, in his defense, a very high percentage of that goes to, I believe, a Venezuelan charity, like food or supply.
Sure.
So
I
that
wasn't
part's
picking
good.
on him.
Yeah. No, I know.
I'm not picking on him.
But it's pricey. It is pricey. Got one of the best signatures, though, man. Really sweet auto. If you've never seen a Mariano Rivera autograph, look it up.
It's very curvy.
Yeah, it's very cool.
All right, so let's see if we can get this to come up on the stage. Look at that. So right away, Robbie Alomar, Carlos Baerga, Len Barker, Johnny Bench, and Wade Boggs. I mean, if you're a Hall of Fame collector, you've got 3 right here: Alomar, Bench, and Boggs.
Yeah, one of these is my pick. I'll share my card right here. The second year Johnny Bench, classic card. Get down in catching position. Young baby face Bench. Got your Topps All-Star Rookie Gold Trophy. Just would be a cool card to get signed. I know people like rookie cards signed. This would be my first choice to get a Bench card signed. Arguably, some people, when we did the episode with the greatest living ball players, there was a few Bench calls. David Moody, who listens to the show, not live, messaged me after the show and said it's Johnny Bench, hands down.
Interesting.
He DQ'd Bonds because of the HGH, but he said Bench is the greatest living ball player that we have. So that's not why I picked this, but that's his. Arguably he's in the discussion, right? And this is a classic card, and Bench is there almost every year, so that's pretty cool.
Well, he takes care of. I mean, he's got young kids actually.
Yeah, good for him. God bless him.
I can't do it, so God, like you said, God bless him for doing it. All right, so I could definitely see. I'm not a Boggs fan. Robbie Alomar, I thought was great, but I'm not a huge fan. Bench would be the only one, and I would have gone with the same card you did, no doubt about it. So moving on. This was a tough one for me. Carlton, Chambliss, Charbonneau, Clemens, and Cologne. The C's. Steve Carlton, for me, I would absolutely love to get his autograph. I don't have a specific card that I was tied to. I mean, I guess it would be his rookie card. I'm not a big Carlton card fan lover, but I love him as a pitcher.
Yeah, the lefty. He's arguably one of the best living pitchers of all time, along with Koufax, who's not at the event. How about Joe Charbonneau making the list? Probably, without knowing for 100% certainty, probably one of the more affordable autographs in the lineup.
Probably a little bit less than some of the names we're going to see.
Yeah.
All right. How about Andre Dawson, Eckersley, Fisk, Francona, and Garvey? Anybody here catch you?
Yeah, there's definitely no one made my list to share a card with. But you can see the Cleveland flavor, right? With Charbonneau, Francona, Eckersley was with the Indians. There was someone up Baerga on previous you mentioned. So they're definitely going with some hometown flavor on this lineup.
Who's your favorite rookie out of these?
Rookie card? Or
yeah.
I think I'll go with that Steve Garvey 1971, the black border card.
Over the multiplayer Fisk?
Yeah, the Fisk is cool, but we always like those single player. I do anyway. Dawson's on 4 with 3 other guys on his. I actually have. I also shout out to the sports card shop. I have a Dawson rookie card auto, thanks to them guys. So they had them at the store.
I'm putting this in.
Oh, it's 14-2 Pirates.
Oh, they've opened it up a little bit. That's funny. All right, here's almost a clean sweep on Hall of Famers.
Yeah, sorry, Felix. You're not getting in, but you're still king, apparently.
He was on the path for a while.
He was. He kind of toiled at the end and not going to get in. None of these made my list, but they're not short on talent. Like you said, all 4 out of 5 are Hall of Famers. I've met Goose Gossage. He scared me as a kid, and when I met him, I had a conversation with him, and I told him, as a kid in Brooklyn, you scared me. He goes, "How about now?" And I said, "No, not as much." So that was a fun conversation.
So if money's no issue, I'm not going to lie, I would love to get this in a 10-10.
Yeah.
I mean, that we.
The only thing, does it bother you that it has like a facsimile auto on it already?
No.
That always bothers me a little. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I don't want the new autograph on top of the old autograph. That's the only thing I wouldn't want.
But then you get it's like you're seeing double potentially.
I see double most of the time anyway.
Yeah, I hear you. The facsimile autos don't bother me, but it would bother me if I was getting that card really signed. That's, the card itself doesn't bother me, but getting that card signed would bother me. That being said, I think one of my cards I picked, if not more than one, have that though, so we'll stay tuned.
Ruben says he would want a Piazza or a Griffey if they were there, both for my Diamond Kings Hall of Fame run. I could see that.
Yeah. Neither one are there.
Mookie says real auto on top of facsimile auto isn't great. No, right on top of it.
I wouldn't have them. I would hope they wouldn't put it on top. But in some of these cards, where are you going to put it? Like above it, and then you're seeing double.
Yeah, it's one of those problems I'd like to have.
Yeah.
So I would take Ricky. I'm a Vlad Guerrero fan, but his autograph doesn't do anything specific for me. But Ricky Henderson, we talked about him in Greatest Living Player.
Yeah, and I had him too low. If I did that show again, I'd move him up higher.
So I think he's somebody, that is probably underrated on the autograph scale.
For sure. I don't have a Ricky Henderson auto, so I would not mind having one if that's the.
All right, I think this is an interesting group. I'll let you go through this group.
You got Reggie. A lot of people know Reggie's significance to my hobby journey. Chipper Jones, a Braves fan favorite. Justice right there, another Brave. Justice also played in Cleveland. Kluber. Here we go with some Cleveland flavor, and then Barry Larkin, Ohio flavor, not with the Indians. One of these guys did make my list. I'll put this up here in a second as it loads, as like Google Slides. But man, these are all, again, Justice and Kluber are not, but the rest of them are all a favorite. So here you go.
Really?
Yeah. This was the card that started my collecting journey, man.
Well, that's true.
First pack I ever opened. I don't have the original card. I do have the card graded in PSA 8. It's on the wall over there. And it reminds me of, Reggie Jackson's not my favorite player. Wasn't even my favorite Yankee. It was Thurman Munson. But by this time, Thurman was gone, unfortunately. And Reggie Jackson could have ran for mayor of New York City and won in Mr. October. And to a 7-year-old kid in Brooklyn who was a Yankee fan at that given moment, Reggie was Reggie. And so this card was in the first 1979 pack I ever opened. I apologize if you've heard this story ad nauseum. So I would get this card signed. There's like, if I was getting a Reggie Jackson auto on any card of my choosing, I would pick the card that started it all, the 79 Topps.
I agree with Reggie. I would probably gone more with the chalk on the rookie card, but your story is far more important.
Well, that's why. That's what's the
Yeah.
beauty of the hobby, right? We
And
all
that's
have.
the beauty of the autograph is the connection with the player.
Yeah. So 79 tops, man. This was like the 4th or 5th card in that first pack. And here we are, 45 years later, doing card matches, and I'm still in cards.
Still talking about that card.
Still talking about it. Have it in PSA 8. It's probably $10-$20. It's not the value, it's the significance.
I thought about going with Reggie. I thought about going with the Diamond Kings. But like I said, I would have gone with the rookie. I didn't load the picture of the card. Everybody knows what his rookie looks like. But he's in the small hall, without a doubt. Now, this is an interesting group.
Yep. You want to go through it?
I do. Pedro, Fred McGriff, Big Papi, Dave Parker, and Tony Perez.
Have you noticed, by the way, these are in alphabetical order, so that's if you haven't picked up on it. No Cleveland love here, just because they're in alphabetical order, but you got 4 Hall of Famers, right? Dave Parker arguably right on that cusp, man. There's a lot of people who think he should be in. I can be convinced. I'm not opposed. I'm not a big David Ortiz. I know the Red Sox are obviously a popular team. How old am I? When I first came to Syracuse, Fred McGriff was hitting majestic home runs for the Syracuse Chiefs as the AAA ball club of the Toronto Blue Jays. So I got to see minor league Hall of Famer Fred McGriff. So I probably have some Fred McGriff autos somewhere here before he was what we know him as today. Just because I had minor league card signed of him. So none of these made my picks, but not short on talent either.
Mark Hoyle says he's got Pedro and Papi, that he'd take Dave Parker. Yeah, I mean, out of this list, it's an interesting group. What's up, Warren? Never late.
You were right. I will not be late again 100 times on the chalkboard. Let us know when you're done.
Thank you, Bart. All right. Now I saw this group. Okay.
Oh, Piazza is there.
There you go.
We're staying corrected. We said he wasn't there, but he is.
Rico Petrocelli, Mike Piazza, Albert Pujols, Tim Raines, and Manny Ramirez. Can we say that Pujols and Manny Ramirez might have been the best right-handed hitters all around for quite some time?
I think you can say Pujols, which, by the way, this card makes my list here.
All right, well, then go ahead. I'll let you take this.
All right, here's it's not a weird card, but, let me put it up. You got your Pujols and Ichiro Chrome dual rookie, right? So then I got to get the Pujols sign here, and then it's a chase to get the hunt to get the Ichiro sign, so they're both signed. Talk about, and I believe they'll both be going in the Hall of Fame in the same year. I think they're both eligible. They're both first ballot Hall of Famers. They're both getting in. It'll be interesting. Chrome cards can be tricky to get signed, but it's not impossible, because the gloss. But that would be a cool card, right? To get one half of it done in Cleveland and then somehow add the Ichiro to complete the Chrome rookie.
The Chrome, you just have to be careful with. It shouldn't be definitely cool.
Yeah, you definitely have to let it dry before you put it into anything or anything like that.
There's nothing worse than watching somebody put it right into a plastic bag and it all comes right off.
Yeah, or a sleeve.
Yeah, even the athletes now have gotten nice about telling people to, I've seen them tell them to let it air dry.
They don't want to sign again.
Getting back to my Manny Ramirez, Warren says Manny is the best I've seen live, period. Right-handed hitter, he clarified later.
Yeah. He's kind of tied. He's kind of tied to using. I think that's going to hurt him. You think he's a Hall of Famer now or ever?
I think without the suspicion, he would have been 12-time All-Star, 9-time Silver Slugger, World Series MVP, 2-time World Series champ, dominated in the postseason.
What hurts him more, the suspicion or the weirdness? Or is it the combination of both?
That's a great question. It's the combination of both.
Yeah.
Remember when he threw the baseball at the person in the stands?
Yeah, I mean, there's a list of peeing in the behind the scoreboard in left field, the whole Manny being Manny. He's done some other quirky stuff. So
he caught the ball and ran and jumped up on the wall in Baltimore and gave the fans the high five, the Red Sox fans, after he caught the ball. I don't know. That was Manny being Manny. There's something to love. I mean, even you're chuckling about it now. He was a character.
Yeah, he definitely was a character. But I almost think the character sort of takes away from the greatness of the player. I know that sounds crazy. I think it's a two-way street, right? We look at Griffey, sort of a character in a fun sort of way, hat backwards, smiling, blowing bubblegum bubbles, having fun, climbing the center field wall, robbing home runs, right?
Oh, my Griffey.
And we that's a positive kind of a character. And then I think sort of Manny's things kind of hurt him in some cases. So it's kind of the both ends of the spectrum.
I think it depends on the player. Yes, Manny diving to cut off Damon's throw. Some of that stuff is just it's precious. Manny still holds the postseason home run record. A lot of Manny love.
Well, listen, the stats are there. Stats are there.
I mean, I wonder what his. I'm just curious. You think he sells for more or less than the Mariano Rivera?
You mean like what his cost?
Yeah.
Oh, way less than Mariano. It's not even close.
Okay. I can't look it up quickly, and I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yeah, I'll save.
Yeah, when you rented the movie, The Ring at Blockbuster years ago. Okay. What were you saying?
No, I can look it up, but I'm sure it's a pretty safe bet. I don't even think it's close. It's not even a competition.
I wonder. We should have gone through and checked on who the most expensive autograph is.
Well, didn't you look? Mariano's got to be up there.
Yeah, here's Manny. I got news for you. Manny's the same price as Mariano, and maybe more expensive.
No, I can't believe that. And that I don't know how many people are gonna.
Well, Mark Hoyle says he doesn't think Manny signs much. Not around there anyway. So maybe it's a harder autograph.
Really?
Hodges, what's going on?
That shocks me, man. Like
Warren says, I've been buying many cards at reckless abandon.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, he's a guy that could get in the Hall of Fame later on, type of deal.
The Cleveland area will turn out for Manny. It's an excellent point. He is in the Cleveland Hall of Fame.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
So that's an interesting one. So
all right, here's his price. Oh my God, I am shocked. Wow.
I told you.
$363. Wow. Who knew? Not me. I didn't know.
I mean, it's stunning what they get for some of these.
I gotta look. I'm not gonna look right now, but maybe like what is a Manny Ramirez autograph card like out of a like certified pack, like a Panini,
like a premium auto?
Yeah,
I don't know.
If going up in waiting in line and going up and getting it's $363, what is this card's going for? That price is Manny being Manny.
Yeah, I love that comment. I mean, maybe we're just not giving enough love there, John. I think you're.
How much of it like is that because he's in Cleveland? Like, is it the adjustment rate?
I mean, I wonder if that's just the going rate for most of the athletes.
No, well, I'll save it for when he comes up. But I looked at some of the other prices, so it's not for the most.
Okay. On this list, Pujols is the one that I think is obviously would be one that I would want.
That would be my first choice. Not there's no. Well, I like Piazza. I don't know why, but I don't. So, all right, you ready to move to the next grouping?
Yeah,
we're getting towards the back end of the baseball, which is the highest percentage of signers.
Now this you can call a Hall of Fame group And I bet in 1970 or 1980, let's say, in 1980, if I were to ask you which 4 of these guys would be Hall of Famers.
Well, yeah, 1980. Well, Ripken. I was going to say Mariano was, not to the mid 90s. Yeah, no, listen, yeah, Larry Doby Day. So good call, Mookie.
Yep.
Shout out to Larry Doby, who basically was the Jackie Robinson of the American League, if you will. Great Hall of Fame. Yeah, great Hall of Fame career in his own right. This will not make Jim Rice will not make Mark Hoyle's list, as he mentioned earlier in chat. He's already got 30 autos. None of these guys made my list, and not because they're not good. I picked 8 cards, and none of these were one of them.
You wouldn't want any Ripken.
I like any of these guys. I just didn't pick them. Like, I'm not,
It's all right. There's a ton of Ripken autographs out there. He's not a hard autograph to get. The only thing that I really can imagine me standing in line for trying to get would be if I could get this card autographed. I know it's a pipe dream, but the orange police Ripken minor league Charlotte card, I would take that even over a Schmidt auto rookie or anything like that.
You have a Ripken autograph ball already. What do you think Ripken's auto cost at the National? I've just looked it up.
I mean, I would assume it's in line with Mariano and.
No, it's less than Mariano's, which it
is
should
really?
be. I don't want to say it should be, but it is.
How much?
$203.
Okay, that's probably more fair to his market.
Yeah.
Why
203? Why not just 200? Or how about 199?
Three, I think, is for his father.
Yeah.
I could be mistaken. Mark Hoyle says he'd go Schmidt. That Rice does sign often.
Yeah.
No argument about this. Beautiful Ripken card to get an auto on is the 92 Gallery of Stars.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I won't argue. I mean, like I said, I have a Ripken autograph baseball. But I don't think there's a bad Ripken card, right? I mean, to get signed.
Yeah, here you go, John. Paul Skeens is a Hall of Famer. Will be the next great pitcher. Could be the newest player to reach 300 wins.
That's a big number. That's a big statement, but he's looking good early, right? By the way, Mariano's $312, in case you're scoring at home.
So maybe that's just got some taxes built in or something.
Yeah.
Cal hasn't missed his signing since '82. Iron Man.
I know. He's there. He's one of those. There's certain of these guys that are just there every year.
Well, Cal learned from Brooks. Brooks signed everywhere, all over town. So did Unitas. It's kind of a Baltimore tradition.
Yeah.
How about Pete Rose? What's he charging? I'm just curious.
I just looked it up. It was like weird timing you said that. What do you think Pete Rose charges for autograph?
I mean, is he getting more than Ripken? There's no way.
No, he's under.
He's got to be half of Ripken.
Yeah, you're about right. $83 for Pete Rose.
Yeah. Talk about
he's everywhere, man. He signs in Vegas. He signs in Cooperstown. He'll come to your house if you fly him in.
And he'll sign whatever you want him to write.
Yeah, he'll eat dinner with you. So
all right, let's move on here. This is talk about an eclectic group. Ted Simmons, Ozzie Smith, Corey Snyder, Sammy Sosa, and Dave Stewart. One of these, none of
these made my list. But you got a little more Cleveland flavor with, I think, Dave Stewart. Did he pitch in Cleveland? It wasn't very long. Corey
Snyder's the Cleveland guy.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, remember, he was the toast of baseball for a year or two. Had some pretty good years. Played on the Olympic team. I remember his rookie card at moments was in high demand. So much for that. But that's again, they're in alphabetical order, so they're not in any kind of grouping. Ozzie would probably be one of my first picks. I'm not a Sammy Sosa guy, but none of these made my actual pick of 8 players.
And Ted Simmons is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, recent.
Yep. I would go with Ozzie. I'd go with the Padres 79. I thought I loaded the picture, to be honest with you, but maybe I didn't. Yes, this was Corey Snyder and Joe Carter had cover of Sports Illustrated. Here come the Indians. They finished last.
These Sports Illustrated jinx, apparently.
Right. I think it's going strong. Dave Stewart was a heck of a pitcher.
He is. I don't think he gets talked about enough. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I don't know what his final stats were, but he was definitely a big game pitcher. Whether he's a Hall of Famer or not, he was a guy if he was on the mound, you knew you had your work cut out for you as a hitter and as a team.
Matty K says, Corey Snyder has always seemed to be a good dude. Was my first successful through the mail back in 87. Always seemed to be down to earth. That's cool to hear. Mark Coyle says that he met Snyder in Cooperstown a few years ago.
There you go.
I wonder was he a good guy too, Mark? And Warren says going with Ozzie as well. Yeah, I think you got to go with Ozzie Smith out of that grouping.
If I did meet Sammy Sosa, I'd ask him if he learned English again after the congressional hearings.
He only forgot for a couple minutes. This one, I was curious for. I'll let you take this one because I was curious for your reactions to this. Because to me, this is all the big Hall line.
Yeah, you got Pat Tabler, Cleveland Indians, Frank Thomas, Hall of Famer, Jim Thome, Hall of Famer, and Cleveland Indian, Alan Trammell, Hall of Famer, Omar Vizquel, Cleveland Indian, and I believe he's in the Hall. So none of these guys officially made my list, but honorable mention. If I had a no-name Frank Thomas, how cool would a no-name Frank Thomas 90 Tops be signed?
If he's signed,
although would you get it signed? What's the gut reaction on that? It's a iconic era card, but do you have it signed? Does that hurt it? Help it? Does it become cooler signed? Does it ruin it signed?
I think you get it signed right where the name's missing.
Yeah, how cool would that be? Frank Thomas signature in the box where his name should have been printed.
Mookie says Pat Tabler was an elite hitter with the bases loaded.
Yeah, he hit lots of grand slams.
Ever, if not one of them, I believe.
Yep.
When you get Frank Thomas's autograph, wait for it. She'll like it too.
Nugenics.
Yep.
Maybe he'll put Nugenics in quotations.
And get John Valentin to sign it as well. Mike, you missed it. They had Joe Charbonneau earlier.
Yeah, we're going in alphabetical order.
On this group, I'm a Frank Thomas fan just because I think he's ahead of his time.
Yeah, another guy not mentioned, him and Griffey, right from that era, Danny. Him and Griffey not mentioned in performance enhancers and put up numbers very impressive with those folks that were used. So,
and by the way, I want to go back and give a shout out to Corey Snyder, who randomly had a lot of people talk about what a good guy he was. So I did not know that about Corey Snyder, so that's nice to hear. Kirk says he got Trammell to sign a ball for him at a game. Good guy. Always like to hear that.
Yeah, it's nice because you hear a lot of the other side of that coin, sometimes too much.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right. We're finishing up baseball. Well, let's pass on Matt Wilcox because I think that's the chalk. So if it comes down to Winfield or Yount.
Dave Winfield, man. We talk about guys that played multiple sports, multi-talented. Robin Yount's underrated. I don't think Robin Yount.
A heck of a player, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking away anything from Robin Yount, but Winfield was he could have played probably 3 professional sports if he had dedicated himself to the other ones. You know what I mean? There's something to be said about that. Robin Yount doesn't get talked about enough for his numbers. Milt Wilcox, I like how they put first national appearance. It's like their rookie debut at the National.
Do they get a patch? Does it go into a card for next year?
Yeah, into the silver packs at the next year's National.
Now, here's something that surprised me. This says Yount was a 3-time All-Star.
That's it?
I want to fact check that. I would have bet the house he appeared in more than 3 All-Star games.
Yeah, me too. I would have lost that bet.
Yeah,
that's surprising.
What we're saying, Mike. Yeah, and Winfield.
Why? I wonder if there's was there someone there's got to be someone else that was taking away appearances.
Ripped in and Trammell.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But he's still a pretty good ball player.
And he was in a smaller market for voting, back when you had to punch it through the holes, the hanging sheds. All right, so
none of these made my picks here.
I'm trying to see if I missed anybody. No, I have another one.
Now we go into the other sports.
Yep. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing any of my guys. All right, football legends and Hall of Famers. First row. Thoughts?
None of these,
To me, Earl Campbell's the sexy name.
God bless Earl Campbell. I know he's not in great shape, but he's going to be there. Tremendous. Listen, he caused a lot of headaches for the Steelers back in the 70s. Mel Blount, my Steeler guy. I have stuff signed by him, so he didn't necessarily make my card list. But being a Steeler, I love Mel Blount. Offensive linemen, so important to the game. Just don't get a lot of hobby love, right? But Bo Selly's like one of the first superstar Jaguars. Back in the day.
Might be the only one until Trevor.
Yeah. So these Atwater was a great Denver player on the secondary. So not a bad start in alphabetical order.
And Atwater, Blount, Boselli, and Campbell, all Hall of Famers. All right. This one I'm going to go through a little bit quicker. Nobody here that moved the needle for me. I'm not a huge Richard Dent fan.
One did, but go ahead. Go ahead and finish your thoughts, and then
I didn't have much on this line, so go for it.
And I'm pulling up my slide, so I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat here. Shoot, it won't let me upload it. All right. I wouldn't have a card sign, but I'd have a picture of this gentleman back when he was here in his college days at Syracuse University. If that hasn't given it away yet, that would be Larry Zonka. Still a legend in this town, and was a bouncer at a local bar, and nice guy, but he'd throw people out if you didn't behave. So Zonk, another one of those guys, he's in the hall, but it probably doesn't get talked about enough. Kind of that fullback mode, he's kind of Mike Allstott before Mike Allstott. And I like Larry Zonka. I'm a homer. I'm not originally from Syracuse. I wasn't in Syracuse when he was here, but he is a Syracuse legend. So shout out to my guy, Larry Zonka.
And Jim Covert was Marino's roommate at Pitt. Anytime you're known by whose roommate you were, that's probably a better time to get the other autograph. So moving on, and this one cracked me up. Faneca, Flutie, Fouts, Farad, and Eddie George. I'm a Doug Flutie fan.
Yeah, the classic 83 Boston College game. He had a pretty good NFL career, CFL career. Fouts is a guy that just has incredible numbers. Not a Super Bowl ring. I think that hurt him. Gus Frerotte, Washington Redskins legend. And Eddie George is a guy, too, that I don't think gets enough credit, for the numbers he put up, and great college player as well. Alan Faneca, again, Steeler. None of these guys made my official list. Faneca, it's weird when you see offensive linemen when they retire and they're like 1/4 of their body weight and they look like they can play wide receiver now. Like I always get a kick out of that. So if you've seen Faneca in pictures lately, he doesn't even look like the same guy. It's kind of weird.
Mark says Flutie, same age as him, played high school ball in the same area at the same time. Yeah. He's got some of those iconic moments. He broke the mold in the NFL for the height of quarterbacks. The game over Miami, like you said, at Boston College. There's just, if I have to pick somebody on that line, to me, Flutie is definitely the one.
Yeah, Gus Ferrat's really the sort of the low man on that totem pole, if you will. No offense, Gus. But none of these are terrible.
And he was a 3-sport athlete in high school. There you go.
Yeah, Ruben, I will answer. Ruben asked if I saw Pouncey. Yeah, he doesn't even look like this. I don't know, like offensive linemen, they retire and they turn into like regular guys.
Well, it shows you how unhealthy it really is for probably their playing.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
Yeah. All right. Now this one, I was curious. Well, I shouldn't say that I'm curious. I know that you might have one that stands out above the others on this one. You want to take this line?
Yeah, I mean Bob Golick, funny when they were on the Golick show. It's not letting me load my Google Slides anymore, so I'll just have to talk about it. 2 Steelers on this line in Green and Grossman, Randy Gradishire, Archie Griffin. I have Joe Green autos. I do not have a rookie card Joe Green auto. So what I would do is, if I was doing it, I would bring a Joe Green auto and have him sign that card. I have Joe Green autos. I just don't have a Joe Green rookie card auto. I do have a Randy Grossman auto. Actually, I have multiple Randy Grossman autos.
There you go. I don't have any.
Jewish tight end. So there you
go. Speaking of minority positions, that line just I'll leave to you and I'll move on. This one got me much more excited. Howard, Irvin, Bo, Edgerrin James, and Calvin Johnson. I'll let you go first on this line.
None of these guys made my pick, but 2 stand out for me that I would want: Bo Jackson and Calvin Johnson. I love Calvin Johnson. Retired kind of young, sort of like Barry. I think he's one of the great wide receivers to ever do it. He's not Jerry Rice. I'm not saying that. But I don't think we talk about Calvin Johnson enough. He's kind of faded a little bit from limelight. You can see it's his first national appearance, and he's not recently retired. He's been retired for a bit. So I don't think he makes a lot of public appearance. So he'd be a guy I'd love to get an autograph card of. And Bo Jackson's Bo Jackson. What else do you need to say? Surprised this is Edgerrin James' first national appearance. I wouldn't guess that. Michael Irvin is there almost every year. And, Will Howard's a young guy. So with some, Ohio flavor. So that's where he comes in.
I'm sure people in this chat room know, but there's one picture, poster, card that Bo Jackson will not sign. And that's what I want signed. I want this card signed. If you can find them out on the market, they go for a ton of money. That's not why I want it. I want it because it's one of my favorite cards from one of my favorite players of all time. I just, to me, it's, Calvin Johnson and Michael Irvin are the best NFL players on there. I thought Edgerrin James was got a little bit lucky on the, for him, the teams he was on. But Bo, for me, scorecard, no brainer. I know that's chalk for me.
Yeah, the problem is, like you said, he won't sign it, though.
I know. Get a picture of him running up the wall in Baltimore. I should. I'm sure I've mentioned I was at that game, actually. Yeah, good thing the Tickle Monster wasn't there. He's definitely not smiling in that picture. I don't know. Is Calvin Johnson in the top 5 receivers of all time?
I think he's in the conversation, man. People who played with him speak glowingly of his greatness. And again, I think he fell victim to the lack of success in Detroit. Now we're seeing the Lions be successful, Had that been the earlier Lions, I think we talk about Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders in a different way. Even though they're both great, they're greats. I think we talk about them in a different way, even though they are terrific.
This is awesome. Kirk got Bo and Bosworth. That was a legendary battle. I remember that the Boz.
Yeah, I watched that live. That was something else.
This is a good one. Maddie said he would absolutely have Bo signed a Nintendo Tecmo Bowl game cartridge would be a cool collectible. As we know, he was untouchable in that.
Yeah.
I asked Megatron or Michael Irvin. Mookie says Megatron. Michael is hard to take.
Calvin Johnson. I know Dallas Cowboy fans are gonna gasp here. Calvin Johnson was a better wide receiver than Michael Irvin. I'm not talking about stats. I'm not talking about Super Bowls. I'm talking about their position. If Calvin Johnson was on the Dallas Cowboys instead of Michael Irvin, they still win the same amount of Super Bowls. He doesn't get to pick who drafts him. He was a better player.
Yeah.
People are gonna think I'm nuts, but that's what I think of Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson's numbers were ridiculous, and he was getting double teamed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the reality of it.
He didn't even have great quarterbacks, man. Yeah. I mean, there's no Troy Aikman in Detroit.
Yeah, here, get ready for the rim shot. Michael Irvin was hard-nosed. Yes. All right, let's see if we can scroll through fast here. Anybody on this list catch your attention?
Put it up.
Sorry about that. Chad Johnson, Cardell Jones, Andy Katzenmoyer, Jim Kelly, and Joe Klecko.
No, none of these guys made my list, but God bless Jim Kelly, man. Battling.
Yeah.
He was on the brink, man, and he is still with us, thank God. And, I'm not far from Buffalo, and he's sort of a local, not local, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, but a local hero, does a lot of stuff in the community. And so even though he's a Bill, I have a soft spot for Jim Kelly. Chad Johnson, hilarious dude. Maybe he'll go to McDonald's with you somewhere in Cleveland after the signing. Cardell Jones. I liked Cardell Jones in college. I thought he was going to do a little bit more in the NFL. And Joe Klecko, late to the Hall, but he's in. First national appearance. I that's a surprise to me. So, part of that sack exchange with Gastineau, and really good guy from, we talk about good guys like Corey Schneider. Joe Klecko gets a lot of that on the football side of that.
All right. Moving on to, I think, a more interesting line to talk about here. You want to go through this line first?
Yeah, your dude, Ray Lewis, Cowboy legend Bob Lilly, Johnny Manziel with the Browns and Cleveland flavor, Dan Marino, best quarterback not to have a Super Bowl ring, and Kevin Mawai, who's it's his first national appearance, another great offensive lineman, president of the Players Union for many years as well. So some football powerhouse here. Even Johnny Manziel, I know he kind of became sort of a butt of jokes, but even he is still fairly popular in some circles. For me, I know you're a Ray Lewis guy, but Dan Marino, I wish the Steelers would have drafted him. They didn't. I think we would have won a Super Bowl or two more, and he would have had a ring. But he can't argue with the greatness regardless of the no ring. Dan Marino, one of the best all-time QBs.
Obviously, I love Ray Lewis. Marino was the guy I actually was a big fan of growing up. Baltimore, when the Colts left here and went to Indianapolis, Baltimore fans did not stay Colts fans. We were kind of a city without a team. So I had family in Miami, and actually would go down there and watch Marino play more than even Washington. So big Marino, but Ray to me is the greatest middle linebacker of all time. So Marino would have made Lewis Lips a Hall of Famer, John.
Probably would, or Yancey Thigpen.
Yancey Thigpen. There's a name I haven't heard. All right. Urban Meyer, Joe Montana, Warren Moon, Anthony Munoz, and Jonathan Ogden. I think Montana, Moon, Munoz, and Ogden, maybe in that order. This might be the strongest group of four. Forget Urban Meyer.
Yeah, Urban Meyer there. You got your Ohio State love there. So that's why he's on the bill. Montana, arguably one of the greatest quarterback Moon doesn't get enough credit. Munoz, one of the best offensive linemen, along with Ogden, who gave the Steelers plenty of fits back in those trench battles. So, yeah, none of these are terrible. I'm not an Urban Meyer guy necessarily, but
Yeah.
not a bad, not some bad. She got some power here.
That's a good question. What's Montana charging?
I will look that up while
I'll move on to the next line here.
right.
We're on the home stretch here. This is a great group. Adrian Peterson, Jim Plunkett, some safety named Troy Polamalu, Andre Reed, and Jerry Rice. You can't really go wrong in this group. But I think Jerry Rice, I mean, you're just talking the greatest of all time at his position and on the short list of greatest NFL players of all time.
Yeah, Dan Marino, $270.
Okay, so still less than Mariano Rivera.
Oh, Montana. That was Marino. My bad.
Yeah.
Well, just for discussion's sake, Marino's 270. Let's check Montana.
I bet Montana's in that 300 to 400 range.
Oh, hang on.
Ruben says that he would take Polamalu and Jerry Rice. Mark's taking Jim Plunkett. This is a good group.
Jeez, what do they do? Put Montana at the end here? I'm trying to find them.
That'll be
Did
the
I
big
pass them?
I'm going to go to the next line. Barry Sanders.
I want to pick real quick. Let me just add.
I'm sorry.
One of these guys, Jerry Rice. I have an 86 Topps rack pack with a Jerry Rice rookie on the top still sealed. I had posted a question on my social media and took a poll. Should I get this rack pack signed? Not open it, just have Jerry Rice sign the cellophane over his rookie card. And like by a 62 to 38 margin, people said no.
Yeah.
So I was surprised by that. So if I was going to get a Rice autograph, I would have him sign that sealed rack pack.
Interesting. I don't know if I would want the seal on. The autograph on the cellophane.
Yeah, I guess a lot of 62% of people agreed with you.
I'm not used to that. Barry Sanders, Donnie Shell, Mike Singletary, Bruce Smith, or Emmitt Smith. I mean, Barry Sanders to me is so much cooler than everybody else.
Yeah, Barry Sanders was one of my picks. I have a Select Certified 1995 Mara Gold card, which I love. I just think that would be cool to see signed and how that would look with a signature on it.
Yeah, I mean, Emmitt Smith, Bruce Smith, great players, but to me, it's Barry Sanders. All right, on the home stretch here in overtime, Troy Smith, Ohio State, former Heisman Trophy winner, John Stallworth, Lynn Swann, LT, and Vinny Testaverde. There's two Steelers on here, so I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, I like John Stallworth more than Lynn Swann. I don't dislike Lynn Swann. I thought he sort of overshadowed Stallworth. We met Lawrence Taylor in person at the collectible party. He was a riot, would not let me go. Usually those guys are like, get out of here. He was like, hey, man, where you going? Let's keep talking. So that was a real thrill. But none of these were my picks. By the way, Joe Montana's $259.
Yeah, I think.
But if it's something with Tom Brady on it too, that price goes from $2-something to $13.59.
Yeah, that's not true.
That is true. Look it up.
Is it really? They charge more for it?
Yep. Hang on. I think I still got it up. Let me present this. Hang on. There you go. I don't know if you can see it. You blow that up. Look at where it says Tom Brady item, $1,560.
That is unbelievable.
Yep. I'm going to stop sharing just to.
All right. So on this list, the only two quarterbacks both played for the Ravens, but I think LT is the best player on this list by far.
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue that, man.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest to ever do it, barring all the off the field stuff.
Shout out to three guys on this list for making their first appearances at the National, but not a big fan of Theismann. Thurman Thomas was a great player on a great team. Andre Tippett was a great player, but nobody on this line moves the needle for me. How about you?
Oh, Mike Tomczak. No, that's facetious. No, Joe Theismann. He's a legend. I don't think he's in the Hall. I'm not sure. I don't think he is.
I think he is, actually.
He is?
Oh,
Okay.
no, he's not. You're right. He's College Football Hall.
Yeah, so I think he's the biggest. Thurman. But Thurman signs a lot. He's like, I think Theismann's the biggest name, if you will, on the list. But, not, it is what it is. They all can't be Jerry Rice.
And the last two, how's this for a way to wrap it up? This makes me a Michael Vick fan. What can I tell you?
Yeah, listen, Hines Ward, I have stuff signed by him. I joked with you I was going to put up the picture of Hines Ward staring down at a, dazed and confused Ed Reed. So then none of them really made my list, but I'm a big Hines Ward guy in general, so that's cool. What I would do now is just go through the basketball real quick. You don't have to stop, just name them, and we'll talk about a player or two. I know we're running late.
I mean, Dr. J, certainly.
Dr. J made my list. I'd have his rookie card signed.
Actually, my son got previously.
It'd be cool if he wrote practice along with his signature or something like that.
Shout out to Cheryl Miller, one of the first females signing at the National.
Yeah. How about Greg Oden making the rotation?
Good to see him. I hope his walk. I mean, his knees were bad. David Thompson, I think people forget how great he was, but Dominique Wilkins was the human highlight reel.
Yep. Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Trinity Rodman. His daughter's the soccer player right now.
All right. Yeah. And there's some non-sports. There's some hockey. For the sake of time, you check the Nationals website out for pricing and what days they're going to be there.
Ruben says that Greg Oden's still taking classes at Ohio State. I don't think so. But I've been wrong before.
We'll have to look up what he's doing. His NBA career was short and fell short. I wonder if he's involved in basketball. Is he working for the NBA? Does he run camps? I'd be interested to find out what he's doing as a profession. Or did he make enough money he doesn't have to work again?
Good questions. Give a quick shout out to two of our sponsors, Stadium Insurance. If you're looking to insure your collection, Stadium Insurance, you can do it all in their app. Just download it, and everything's designed for collectors. So check that out. And also a big welcome to a new sponsor. We'll have graphics and everything for the next show. But CIA Auctions, if you have not heard of them, check out Collector Investor Auctions. And they have an auction that actually started yesterday that I've got a couple bids in already. So check them.
Yeah, so Mookie must read my mind. I don't know if he's got the place bugged or wired, but there's another card that it will be a lot less money than some of the prices we talked about with some of the others. But we have the official Mensch baseball card, if you will. Yep. I've signed this particular card. I've signed my side. Danny's a very tough signer. This is the back of the card. It's number 42. It's skip numbered. 1 to 41 does not exist in this set. It's just card number 42. But we will have these with us. We are just walking the show. So if you come up and say hello and shake a hand and what have you, I'm sure you can get one.
Mookie, all you got to do is smile. No shekels needed.
Yeah, we'll get you one, Mark. For those that aren't going, that do want one, let me know, and we'll get one. We're not charging anything, but hey, listen, give $3 or $5 to your charity of choice, and we'll count that.
Sounds good. I'm excited. We got one more show before the National, despite rumors to the contrary.
I know. I put on social media that this was our last show until National. Apparently, I don't know how July works, but I stand corrected. We will have another show, and then we will. You know what? We should maybe in a future edition we'll do a variation,
right,
of the
an SSP.
Yeah, we didn't do it this time, but you never know what might happen in the future.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to the next show because the next show we're practically going to be out the door.
Yeah.
I mean,
What is it? What day? What is it?
It's the 19th. It's our next show is that Friday, and we're on the road on Tuesday. So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to everybody in the chat room. Great episode. Anything else, John?
No, listen, man, we're under 20 days now for the national for those attending. We always talk about how great the chat room is. We've met somebody in person, but if we haven't, we'd love to meet you in person. Shameless plug. Grab an autographed Mensch card. And just let's talk hobby, talk life, and have some fun at the biggest baseball card show in the world.
All right. Say goodnight, John.
Good night, John.